Okay guys, back on the Baja, part 4 and the final episode on the CV joint axle boot replacement. Alright, I'm going to pull the car in and get things ready to go. Okay. Okay guys, we're going to start the reassemble of the CV axle, and then we're going to lube up the CV joint with the grease provided in the kit. Alright, so start out here by cutting a little corner of this baggie off, and first thing we're going to do is I'd like to slide the clamps on right now so I don't forget. As long as you put the clamps on there before you put the second boot on, you don't have to undo them and reclip them. So I'm going to start out by putting this baggie over the spline part here, give it a little bit of lube up there. I'm just going to take one of my boots here and get it started on there. I think the baggie helps so you don't get into the spline on the boot there, gives it a little protection. And I got a little screwdriver here. I like to come in from the inside and just kind of catch the lip there. Be kind of careful, and then just wrap it around as you push it in. There you go. And then you can just slide the bag off. We could reuse that on the other side. I'll pull you back over here. We'll get this boot slid on out of the way here. There we go. Got her out of the way there. Okay. So first step here is this washer that's concave. We're going to want it the curved part out towards the wheel. So slip that on. And I'll take one of my CV joints here, and I've got it set up already for the inner side here. We went through that on the other video. I like to tape this up so when you're moving it around, otherwise the ball bearings can fall out of it. Okay, so I'm going to set this on in the right direction. I'm just going to give this a little tap. I got a socket here. Okay, give it a little bit more. Now this socket's also bigger around than the C-clip is, so I can use it as a little drift later to put it on. So now we'll get our C-clip on. Oops. That always happens on camera. Okay. Get that on in place there. And then I'm going to take this will get around the outside and get that clip just set in there. Okay. I took a measurement of what the clip was when it was on dry fit, and that looks like it went right back on all the way. It's just right. So I know that the clip is seated all the way. Okay guys, I'm going to turn you off for a second here and get all set up to put the grease in. Alright, we're back to getting ready to pack the grease in here. Take this out of the vise real quick. I'll do one side, and then I'll reassemble it, and then we'll come back, and then we'll put it back in the Baja. Okay, so I got this out. Now I'm going to take the tape off of here. Just be kind of a little bit careful here on the joint that the bearings don't want to fall out of it. So I'll take one of my grease packets here and just cut the corner out of it. Alright, so I'm going to try to position this so you guys can kind of see it here. So I'm just going to start squeezing grease right on this inside. Oh, what I'm going to do, what I decided to do before I put any grease in is I'm going to put some of these old bolts back in here. That way when I get ready to put the cover on here, I'm not full of grease pushing a bunch of it out. I'm going to give that a try and see how that works. I think I'm going to like that. It might make for a little bit cleaner. These will get a little goofed up here, but that's all right. So I'm just going to put a bunch of this grease in here and rotate it around. Just kind of going to push it in here as I rotate it around. Keep on putting it in here. Just pack it on in real good. Try to push it all the way through. Okay, that's a good amount there. So now I'm going to take and spin this around here. Going to add some grease to this outer side. Get pretty liberal on this. I'll put the rest of this grease inside the boot. So I'm just going to push these together from both sides, and I can feel some pretty good resistance in there, so I know I'm getting it packed in the whole joint there. So we'll clean this up a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to try to turn this again so we can see over here a little better. Okay, the joint seems to be working real good now. I'm going to take a towel here, kind of clean up a bit here, and then I'm going to take these guys back out. Just going to discard these dirty ones into this bag here. Okay. Now I got the brand new ones here that were supplied in the kit here, and I put the little they each go in a set of 2 with this factory, like a washer here. So now I'm going to slide this in and line up that. There we go. Probably could have, this paint was a little wet still on here, so, okay, there we go. Now I should be able to just kind of line this up as I push it in. There's a little ridge it has to go over there. Okay, and I'm just going to spin this and line those up. Yeah, that's going to be real nice not having that grease in there. Should be able to just add these, find the holes and push these right in. Just like that. Spin it a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? Step back a little bit here. Add a little bit of this. I have a lot of this grease left over. I'm going to add some into this inner boot area here. And that'll save me a little bit for the flanges on the transaxle and on the stub axle on the car. Okay. Now we're going to put these guys back in. Next set of them right here. pushed together here good. I'm going to give this a little better push in to hold it in place. Just like that. Okay, there, it found its groove. All right, well then this guy's ready to install. So I'm going to go off camera, get this other side all hooked up. Okay, now make sure I got my 2 clamps on here now, so when I slide the second boot on, I won't have to disconnect these and, and put them on the shaft. They're already ready to go. Okay, I'll turn you guys off for a couple minutes to get this other side ready. Okay, guys, just about to get this CV joint in and put the other side up there off camera. We're just going to slide this in. Now I set the e-brake just partially on so I could rotate this, because if it's too loose it tends to just be too hard to get things lined up because the wheel's always constantly spinning. Okay, so I felt that go in there. I turned it just enough. I'll get one started on this side, and I'll go up to the other side and get one started up there. And that should hold the joint in place to get these little started. All right, and we'll just run our star wrench in, here. Probably run these in by hand right now until they get a little snugged up. I would like to weld that wrench right onto that extension. So anyways, I'm going to go around and get these all snugged up, and then when I'm all done, I'm going to bring you guys right back. Okay guys, so I went around and snugged all these guys up, and I'm on the last 2. Just gonna snug them up nice here. And then when I know that the boot is all placed, all lined up, then I slide this boot right in place on the notch there. And then you can take, and hopefully you can see this, you could take and get the nearest adjustment on there without being too tight, like right there. And then with a set of dikes, or I use these guys because they have a real narrow, I just turn this to where I can get a good angle on this. It's probably actually right back in there, and I think you guys will even be able to see this. Slide this right down over there and just give it a crimp. It's all in place. All right, that pretty much does this. We're ready to let the car down off the jack and test it out. Pull you guys out here, grab all this stuff out of under here, and I'm going to set you guys back up on this guy here. Car, and we're going to take her for a little drive. Right, jack's down. Just going to take the chocks off the front wheels. All right, seems to work pretty good. Take it for a little ride here. Warm up just for a sec here. Right, go USA and Seahawks. Seahawks didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but still a diehard Hawks fan here. All right, feels good. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and please comment on anything that you might have saw, and appreciate you watching.